Għamel like fuq il-paġna ta' Illuma Ma Steph fuq Facebook. U kull ġimgħa tidħol fiċ-ċans li terbaħ vouchers ta' €50 minn għand Bata, rigali ta' madwar €50 minn għand Beauty Club at Debenhams. Fl-aħħar tal-iskeda tista' terbaħ ukoll vjaġġ għal tnejn minn għand Britannia Tours valur ta' €1000 u table fireplace valur ta' €1200 minn għand Medistone.
Għalli ġiri rimarkajt wieħed minn l-isbaħ affarijiet li itin il-possibilità li nagħmel dan il-programm hija li niltaqa' ma' xi ħadd u ngħid illa jstin jew dan żgur nlaqgħu mal-telespettaturi tiegħi. Hekk għamilt f'dan il-każ. Iltqajt ma' din is-sinjorina mill-Estonia jisimha Errit Kuldkepp, illi probabbilment is it right this time?
Kuldkepp.
Almost there.
You're getting there.
Almost there. U tant ħassejt vibes pozittivi illi allura ħassejt illi ta' min insiru nafu ftit aktar dwar ħalli anka bħalli affettwat li tkun tista' taffettwa lilkom. So, how are you, Errit?
Really good. Thank you, thank you.
You are in love with Gozo. I think that's the first thing we have to talk about because like Gozo.
Yes.
When her face lights up just talking about
Yes.
how did you discover Gozo?
It was actually by an incident in a way, because I was supposed to go to internship to Greece.
Okay.
And I had already, the agreement was signed in June. And the end of that, in the end of August, they said, I'm sorry, we're not taking any interns. But I still had my 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I started to search, where can I go where I can be useful in a way? And all of a sudden, I started to write letters to different countries and companies. And I get the letter from Gozo,
Okay.
one couple, and I was like, Gozo, okay, I know Malta, but Gozo, never heard. So I gave it a chance. And since 2013...
That's it. No turning back.
No,
So
no.
you keep going and you come back.
Yes, always. It's just, it's kind of like I'm addicted to it in a good way, because here it's like I can recharge my batteries.
How beautiful.
Yeah.
We are very lucky to have Gozo. I
are.
love Gozo. I haven't been for a while now, but I love Gozo. You like Gozo?
That's what I was telling Erin on the way here, that for us it's like being on holiday when we go to Gozo.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
It's like, you know, having, it's a sister island, and it's like a baby for us, you know. We wanted to stay the same, no development if possible.
No, leave it as this, please leave it as this.
Exactly, because that's why I mean, you have the sister island, and my nickname to Gozo is my soul home.
How sweet.
Yes.
Okay.
And
That's
it's just...
Naqra, l-awċin xeffett għandkom fuq il-barranini, ġifiri vera għandkom anka verament ħakkom proset etnaraw xi ritratti.
Yes.
Very appropriately they're showing the photos obviously related to Gozo in this case. Errit, back home in Estonia, you work in the hospital at Pärnu.
I do.
What do you do there?
I'm the marketing specialist of Pärnu Hospital.
Meaning?
Meaning I have to preserve and give out the ambiance and the brand of the hospital. When I started this position 8 years ago, ladies, I had never been working in the health sector.
Okay.
It was a challenge, like we talk, women love challenges, men as well, but yeah. But I took this challenge because I wanted to see what can I do there. In a way, my background is hospitality. I'm all about people. And I was like, okay, if I could bring that hospitality into hospital through my own way, not in a way that it's written in a book.
Okay.
But as a marketing person, I have the chance, in a way, to create the brand like I see it and like I see our employees take it, to bring the values of the hospital like out there, but louder, a lot louder.
Okay.
And to show the human side of the doctors, the medical staff, our board, so board members and all the other personnel, because it's all about being human, because what I realized, you can actually be a hospitality person, and I've worked in tourism industry, and take the same values to different sector
Okay.
in a different way.
And how were you accepted? How were
I
you?
wasn't. I wasn't, because in a way I'm more lively than average Estonian, which is, I mean, it's just, I'm a bit different because of my Ukrainian bloodline.
All right.
So I have the temper of, it's more active and more vibrant. And at first, no, I wasn't accepted. I mean, I was supported by my CEO, Urmas Sule. He is, for me, he's a mentor ever since. But with the others, I had quite a tough time. And for first 2 years, I thought, I'm going to leave. What I'm doing here?
Okay.
But now it has changed, because we also got this, 5 years ago, the hospital built a rehabilitation and well-being center, which really talked to me as well. And through that, I can more easily touch the hearts of people through our social media, because I can promote better and more actively the things that I have easier access to. For example, the doctor's work, what they do is priceless. They help people, but I'm not there in the office. So for me, doctors are also the marketing personnel of themselves. Because when you are in the office, then it's between you and the doctor.
Exactly.
So he is doing it for himself. But as a marketing person of the hospital, I can see the bigger picture and take it out there according to our values and beliefs.
Okay.
Why weren't you accepted by the employees themselves? Because you wanted to introduce change?
Yes, in a way, yes, because I was the first ever marketing person in Pärnu Hospital, and under that title, one of the first one in Estonia. And I remember their vision of the, for example, administrative workers were that you're supposed to be in one place, right? But as a marketing person, you can never sit in one place, because that's not how you market anything. You have to go out there to do different events, and you just have to be brave enough.
Of course.
Step
I
over.
can understand you, because I'm in marketing as well.
Yeah.
So and people always hate change.
They do. But it's,
I think they're scared of change.
Yeah.
I think people sometimes are scared of. It's better the devil they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
rather
true,
than
but that's life in general.
face a change in
It's life in
life.
general.
So,
But that's also.
So how did you become? I mean, first of all, you walked into the room and you filled up the room. I don't know, like it, not because you're loud, but because of your, positives, like and fresh and outgoing. How did you discover this positivity? I know that wherever you go, you want to leave it behind.
I do. Yes, this is something. Let's go back years. I'm 35 now, but when I was at a teenage up to my 20s, I had a tough time, ladies, like really tough time, because life wasn't very kind. I don't want to go into details, but derived from that, I had low self-esteem, and I knew what my negative self-talk towards me, because I hated myself.
Okay.
I really did. I couldn't stand looking in the mirror because I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I behaved. But there was this thing inside me but I always wanted to help people, and I wanted to provide actually love, but I found out that I had to find the love first inside me, because the family, I was blessed with an amazing family, but I was like cursed with the inside, like devil inside me who wasn't happy. And ever since after the graduation, the 12th grade, I had a chance to go to US to be a nanny, an au pair, for a year, without knowing how much it would change me when I come back, and how much it will give me like that security, and it will give, it would teach a lot about myself. And then I knew that, wait a minute, I remember when I came back, something has changed, because people used to pick on me, but now something's changed. And then I realized that they didn't change, I changed. And that's why they started to reflect the other version of me. But then again, life got really up and down. But what I love about also like implementing my positively inspiring lifestyle, it's about the balance. Because if we can come through very difficult situations and still live on with the optimistic mindset, because if we still breathe, if we still move, then life goes on. And we have to make our own terms. What we think is happiness, how can we share that with others? It's only if we can share that with the rest of the people who surround us, I think we have created some kind of an impact.
You use the word what we think is happiness, and sometimes I believe our worst enemy is our expectations.
That's true.
Honestly, because sometimes I'm hearing you talk and I'm saying, I'm sure that many people can relate. Most, or let's say an amount of people would have gone through a hard time growing up. We all had our insecurities, we all had our stories, we all had our heart broken, we all had, you know, I think we all go through that. And then you grow up and you either become someone you like or someone you don't particularly like. And I've met people who drag their feet throughout whatever they do. And then you realize that perhaps what they wanted to become in life, they, for some reason, could have been a simple reason, it could have been a very complicated one, but they never reached what they wanted to do. Or maybe they thought they wanted something and then they realized that it was not what they wanted, but somehow they got stuck in that rut. And at a later age, you mentioned the age of 35. I mean, I believe it happens at the age of 35, 40. When you realize, listen, you look back and you say, okay, let's be realistic. Half my life is over, at least. What do I want with the rest of my life? Am I happy in where I am? And that's when somehow things seem to change.
It's when we actually do get a bit of confidence in ourselves. And what I liked about what you mentioned is that people changed, but it wasn't them changing. It was you. You were your own enemy, sort of. You didn't like yourself, and that's the energy you were giving out there. So that was what you were getting back.
Like mirror.
Exactly.
And as soon as I started to realize that at first I didn't know who I was, and in my solitude, because I started to need, after the US, I started to take monthly working holidays elsewhere, because I knew that was the time when I can dig deep and really talk what's inside me and put myself up to new challenges, because challenges are the ones that really change us, help us to step out of the comfort zone and the box. You know, people always say, oh, you need to think out of the box. Right, okay. And then if a person starts to not only think, but act as well, then they're like, oh, whoa, where are you going? Come back, because, you know, you're kind of, we don't know what you're going to do next. But if I'm not meaning any harm, if my intentions are pure, then I don't see it's a problem. And I really want to inject courage into people to really find who they are and keep on searching on their dreams, keep on challenging yourself. This is how we grow. What we see the kids grow, right? From the infant up to 10 years, they change. But we do change.
Exactly.
And if we do it that intentionally, we get really good.
I think that throughout life, we're bound to grow up always depending on what is around us, our friends, our performance at school. But really, it's not about us. It's always about all the things out there. And I think that children should be taught to grow up first finding themselves and loving themselves. Because like that, then you are secure enough to face whatever life hits at you.
That's true.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
But
because
when we talk about being positive,
Yeah.
We've had other possibilities of having people who are life coaches, and they talk about, for example, the thing is that I keep getting messages with people who hear us, who would be listening, and who would say, listen, I would love to be positive. However, I don't know, I lost my job, my husband lost his job, my son needs medication. How do you expect me to be positive? And when you read these things, even I wouldn't know how to answer them back.
Exactly.
Because when you see a pile of situations, of problems that one has to deal with.
Yes.
And okay, some people have a whole big baggage to deal with, some others do have less.
Yeah.
But not everyone finds it easy to be positive. So that is the challenge. How do you overcome, like when you feel like you've been beaten up and slapped on the face, how do you remain with a smile?
You actually, sometimes you need to really, for me, positivity, it's the balance between the hard stuff and the good stuff. And the way you come out. For me, I don't know if you know this Osho statement. What he said, it really talks to me. It's about happiness. And it goes like this. Sadness gives roots. Happiness gives branches.
Okay.
And both are actually needed because the deeper the roots go, the higher the tree goes.
Okay, it's a good one actually.
Yes, because otherwise it would be out of the balance. If the tree would go really high and the roots will be really small, it wouldn't hold up.
No, you got the wind and it's...
Exactly. And for me, I love to cry out as well whenever I feel bad. But then I sit back, relax, I cry out, like my grandma said. Okay, cry, and now stop and think what you have learned, what you can do with it. It's like when I entered, for example, when I came to Gozo, this time I entered a hotel room which was really cold. I wasn't expecting it to be so cold. I could have, with my parents, sit down and said, okay, whine about it. But what can we do about it? What is another angle that I can look at it? And can I actually enjoy it? So that was the first meal I ever had with a hat and a jacket and the boots on. But we had fun because we had the people around us. And that's why another thing comes in, the human connection. I'm all about it that we should not lose it. We have to keep it in a really human way. Because nowadays, when you have all those gadgets, then we're getting like this distance and people are afraid to be friendly. They're afraid to look in the eye of the other people because they think maybe friendliness it's not a strength. But I think that friendly person is a strong person because he represents also, he or she, the human connection and the human side. Very
true. Tell us about the challenge you had with Andrea Bocelli.
Oh, that's a good one. At first, I mean, when I was at Andrea Bocelli's concert in Riga, I was just blown away because I loved his music actually ever since 1999, 2000s. But then when I was at his concert with my mother, I was literally blown away, and I was like, I need to tell him. I need to tell what kind of a vibe he brings into the audience. And I couldn't write a letter. So I did him a video feedback. So that was a challenge to get it through. Eventually I got it through. I got a letter from his friend with Andrea's letter, like really writing back to me. And nobody believed me. They said, well, maybe that's just a scam, or just maybe this is, maybe marketing department did it. Yeah, maybe. But what if maybe not, you know? And all of a sudden, another friend of his, of great company, calls me and, Errit, that would you like to come to Teatro del Silenzio? The peak of the Teatro del Silenzio concert is always the event of the year in the area of the Tuscany and where he lives. So, long story short, we got the tickets eventually, and it was a bumpy road. And then all of a sudden I got this idea that, what if I ask if I have the permission to meet Maestro himself in person? If you want something in life, you have to ask first. And then you don't know. See what happens. And then they said, well, like in Italy we say never. So eventually, days go on. I got a letter from, again, his partner, and he said, well, Errit, if you arrive on this day, we can arrange the meeting. In the letter, I had enclosed the contacts of people who took contact. And I remember the first moment when, because the journey there was also very, very bumpy. And all the challenges before, nobody believed us as well in my town. They said, oh, the girl lost it again. She's loony. I'm like, whatever, but I love my life. And how can I inspire people to be courageous if I'm not courageous? Or if I do silly things? So eventually we ended up we took a car with my lovely partner, Laura. She's my business partner. And we drove in the fields, in the roads of Italy I had never been on, so she's reading the card. Where like I had to pedal really fast because we were on the schedule. So we arrived there and I met one woman and immediately I sensed it, that she didn't like me. And I had this hunch or the gut feeling that this is not going to be good. I was like, just concentrate on what's important right now.
Okay.
And when I opened the door and I was like, there he is. Oh, flesh and bones, there he is. And I knew that just enjoy the moment because not very many get to do that. And that's why I also encourage people to enjoy the journey of life, of everyday, because when I sat next to him, I was like, oh my God.
Is this true?
You gotta pinch me. And then we had a nice talk and I gave him gifts because it's all about giving. And I had a letter prepared. So I read the letter so I won't miss the thoughts. I wanted to thank him. And when the half an hour was over, we were out and I was like, it was unbelievable. And yet it happened. And I was like, if this could happen, anything can.
So what's your next goal? Because now I'm curious.
I know.
Who do you want to meet now? I heard you wanted to meet Stephanie Spiteri of the...
Good one. And here I am.
You did manage. Okay, next one.
But, this is going to be big because I've only my partner, now my life partner, Oliver, knows this. But my next goals are, and I'm not kidding, Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, and Oprah.
Really?
And I'm not kidding because these are the people I've always also looked up to. And whenever I give speeches on confidence and how to give a speech, Obama is the gentleman I've been watching hours and hours because the way he communicates, for me, it's unbelievable. I mean, he's the best teacher.
Eileen, I never asked you. Who would you like to meet?
Anja?
I never asked you. Is there someone you would really like to meet?
Not really. I mean, I would like to meet quite a number of people. I mean, people who have made a difference, but I don't think there's someone in particular that I would want to meet.
Okay.
No.
I want to meet
What
Oprah.
about you?
No, Oprah.
Oprah.
And I had mentioned this
Oprah.
on a
Oprah.
previous program.
So
you'll have to take her with you now.
So we're going together.
I'm sure I'll just let go of everything. You see, that's me. You see, I'm not like you. I just put up a wall and I said like I can't. You see, so that's a different character. Yeah. So you're going to take me off to America now? Yeah, yes. Sure. Of course. Let's go of everything. Yeah, I'm sure I'll do that.
Can I change my declaration?
Yes.
And it's someone American as well.
No. Any chance of meeting George Clooney, for example?
Oh, yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair. No,
yes, it is. But you asked me,
Yeah.
who would you want to meet?
Now she got inspired.
No, I'm just kidding.
You mentioned like that you had bumps.
Yes.
And obviously I referred to those as well earlier on. But how do you overcome those bumps? How do you pull yourself up from the bumps? Because that is the message that I'd like to get across.
Yes. For example, I know we all face the people who dislike us. People who are backstabbers and people who are in front of us, like they're mean or unkind. Then what I do is, and that's honest, in my mind, I keep repeating, first thing, what do I have to learn from this? And they hurt me, yes, but how can I be more kind to them? Because if I would be mean towards them, it would show that I'm mean as well. But I don't want to be, because I have been in these shoes way too many years that people have been mean to me, and I know what it feels like. So what I do is, yes, I'm not mean towards them. I try to overcome by being kinder to them. If it doesn't work, then the next thing I always do is I forgive them in my mind and my heart. Because otherwise I would be punishing myself all the time, because I carry this anger with me, you know, and there's no point. There's no point. You really need to forgive, because I don't know if there is a karma, but I'm not the one who would punish them. Life has its own ways, and there are people who you just have to switch out of your life. Forgive them, but you still move on.
Mm-hmm. It's a very good way.
Yes, I think that when we hold a grudge towards anyone, the only person who is suffering is ourselves.
Yeah.
Because you feel it inside, you're unhappy, you know, you feel that anger in you. But if you just let it go,
then it goes eventually.
Then it goes.
Yes, but you need to feel it eventually in here. Just have to let
but
it
sometimes you need to.
But you need to work on it.
You need to work on
Really?
it, and you need to come to a stage where you say, okay, that person cannot hurt me anymore.
Correct.
I've given them a chance, but now it's enough. And you have to try. It doesn't come natural. You have to try.
At first you have to really...
Because you love yourself, not in a selfish way.
No, in a selfish way.
Not in a selfish way.
No, but this is the one more like advice to people is taking care of yourself. It's not egoistic. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're sick or you are hurt, then you're no good to your friends, to your family. Because you're the best when you are in your good shape. Physically and mentally. Only then you can do more.
I'm just remembering something that everybody is told when you go on an airplane. If, God forbid, anything happens, they tell the parents, first you take the mask.
Yes.
Don't give it to your children first. You need to put your mask on, because then you are safe and you can help your children. If you help your children and then you're gone, your child, where will it end?
Exactly.
Where will he or she end? You know?
Yeah.
But it's experiences as well which teach us, I believe. It's experiences in life which
Absolutely.
teach us, because sometimes we hear people and it's like, Mela. Mela, I'm sure you've learned the Mela and the Fjoka. Because that automatically comes out, you know. Mela, you know, like it's that easy. Of course, I'm going to repay cruelty with kindness. Of course. But then somehow something in your life, someone... And then you automatically you blend into it if you're lucky enough.
If you're lucky enough, yeah.
If you find the way. If you don't know how to find the way, then you're going to remain with a grudge for the rest of your life, and you're going to be pulled down and bitter. Errit, it's been a real pleasure.
Thank you.
You had a nice amount of time, and yet it flew past. It was a great pleasure having you over.
Thank you.
It was lovely having your parents here as well, although they're not understanding. I'm sure it's an experience for them.
Yeah.
And thank you for loving Malta, especially Gozo, so much. It was a great pleasure getting to know you, honestly. There
was an image, that image.
Oh, sweet, Malta. That's lovely. Well done. Lovely photos as well. And Vera, it was very hard. Senna. Ayet. Aita.
Good.
Ajta, qabel bdejna t-tila kif tajt thank you, bl-Estonian. Ovvijament biddilta mill-ewwel u biddilta s-sillabi. Ajta. Grazzi.
Balloon.
And what do you know in Maltese now?
Merba.
Okay, you see, fair enough, very good. Very big pleasure, thank you.
Thank you.
Ħafna. Ma għax namel translation għal Malti, ma għax namel, għax il-konverzazzjoni kienet twila wis, u ovvjament kont nitlef ħafna mill-andament tal-konverzazzjoni. Skuża ruħi jekk forsi dejaqt il-xaħat f'dan il-kas. Ovvjament din hija persuna li l-lingwa Maltija ma tafix ma tgħix hawnhekk, jiġifieri, però ħassejt illi xtaqt ħafna li nsiru nafu aktar mill-fxin nixpera li anke żammejnilkom kumpanija tajba. Qabel nħallukom bħalissa aħna nagħmlu l-istedina tagħna li titlu fil-paġna tal-Facebook. Hemmhekk jekk tkunu għadkom ma għamiltux like ma tistgħux tieħdu sem, però jekk intom għamiltu like diġà, allura tistgħu propju tieħdu sem u titlu fil-sibu ritratt tal-bata, hemmhekk issibu 3 iżraben u tafsu 1, 2 jew 3. Ġifieri tridu tgħidulna minn jekk taħsbux li 1, 2 jew 3 għandha iż-żibeġ moħbijin. Dawk kollha li qegħdin jieħdu sem jistgħu jitlu fiċ-ċans li jerbħu 50 euro voucher, però risposta waħda tistgħu tibagħtu. Ġifieri min jibgħat iktar minn risposta waħda ma jibqax eligibbli. Kif niġu lura anke nkunu nistgħu nitkellmu anke forsi ftit aktar dwar da. Errit, have a lovely weekend. Enjoy Gozo.
Thank you.
Noele naf li ħatħallina issa jiena ħankun ma' Mark propju wara l-aħbarijiet.
Ħajkollok tagħmel il-logħba tal-bata inti ġifieri.
Vera llum. M'għandix min jgħinni. Tlaqtkom, tlaqnikom narawkom minn ftit ieħor.